This morning you opened your phone and felt that familiar ache. The message you wanted wasn't there. The money you needed hadn't arrived. The opportunity you've been asking the universe for still seemed to be missing. And in that moment, a quiet question rose inside of you. Am I doing this wrong? Because you've been visualizing, you've been saying the affirmations, you've been trying to believe. But somehow, reality doesn't seem to match the effort. Here's the truth most people never hear. Manifestation doesn't fail because the universe is ignoring you. It fails because of the frequency you're sending underneath the words, underneath the vision boards, underneath the surface of your mind. You see, the quantum field doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. And the tricky part is this. Most of your identity, most of the signals you send into the field are subconscious. They are running from the nervous system, from old memories, from safety patterns that got wired into your body long before you ever heard about the law of attraction. This is why you can say, "I'm abundant" out loud and still feel panic in your chest when you check your bank account. That panic is the real broadcast. That panic is what the quantum field is tuning into. And so reality, with perfect neutrality, mirrors back more situations that match that vibration. Think about it. When you're waiting for a text, refreshing the screen, your body is in lack. You are broadcasting waiting, not receiving. And the field reflects waiting. When you're desperate for a client or a paycheck, even if you're doing the meditations, your nervous system is screaming survival. And the field reflects survival, not because it's cruel, but because it's precise. The quantum field is a mirror of coherence. It doesn't argue with the words. It harmonizes with the state. So the real secret is not thinking your way into a new timeline. It's regulating your way into one. When your body feels safe now, when your breath slows and your heart opens, suddenly the broadcast shifts. Your cells are not just surviving, they're resonating. And this resonance is what bends reality. Because when you're coherent, when your brain and your heart are in rhythm, the quantum field locks onto you differently. It's no longer a scattered signal. It's a clear frequency like tuning a radio. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop trying so hard to make it happen, the moment you relax into the now and embody the feeling of already being safe, already being whole, reality begins to move. Why? Because the field responds to who you are when you are not pushing, when you are not proving, when you are simply aligned. Think of the times in your life when what you wanted finally came, but only after you stopped obsessing. The call came when you gave up checking. The money showed up when you finally surrendered. The love arrived when you stopped needing to be chosen. That wasn't an accident. That was coherence. Most people fail at manifestation not because it's impossible, but because they never address the contradiction between their words and their body's broadcast. They try to manifest from the surface, while the deeper layers are still saying, "I'm not safe, I don't have enough, I need to control this." But once you learn to feel safe now, once you practice shifting your nervous system into regulation, suddenly your affirmations stop being just words. They become truth, and the field responds instantly. Have you ever noticed the moment you stopped caring, it finally happened? Share your story in the comments. Your moment of letting go might unlock someone else's breakthrough. So if you've been wondering why manifestation feels like it works for some people, but not for you, look deeper. It's not about deserving. It's not about luck, it's about coherence. The ones who succeed are not forcing. They are embodying. They are not waiting. They are already living in the feeling of it. And the field, precise as it is, has no choice but to reflect them. And that's just the beginning. Because once you understand how to embody the frequency now, you don't just manifest a single thing, you begin collapsing timelines. You begin moving into a reality where what you thought you had to chase is simply the natural mirror of who you've become. Imagine you're standing at a crossroads. On one path, you're chasing, refreshing the emails, checking the account balance, waiting for the message that proves you're worthy. On the other path, nothing on the outside has changed yet, but you feel different. Your shoulders drop. Your breath expands. You no longer need proof because your body is already living the reality you've been asking for. And here's the quantum secret. The second path bends reality faster than the first. Not because you're faking it, but because your entire nervous system is sending out a signal of arrival instead of absence. The observer effect in physics shows us something most people ignore. Particles don't take shape until observed. The act of observation collapses probability into reality. But observation is not just with the eyes, it's with the entire body. You're observing with your nervous system, with your heart, with your subconscious patterns. If deep down you're observing your reality as one of lack, your field collapses into lack. If you're observing from the truth of safety, from the embodied state of I already am, your field collapses into abundance. This is why so many people get trapped in the cycle of trying harder. They think if they visualize longer, or speak more affirmations, or stay positive 24/7, something will finally change. But the field doesn't measure hours practiced. It measures coherence. It doesn't respond to the script in your head. It responds to the harmony between your body and your mind. One clear, regulated, embodied moment can shift more than months of forced visualization, because it's not quantity of effort, it's quality of frequency. You know this already in your own life. Think about the moments when someone walked into the room, and without saying a word you could feel their energy. Maybe they were calm and grounded, and suddenly you felt safe too. Or maybe they were tense, and you instantly picked it up. That's not imagination, that's frequency transmission. And the quantum field is just like that room. It feels you before it hears you. It receives your state before it receives your words. So let's get practical. If you want to manifest love, but deep down your nervous system doesn't feel safe in intimacy, the field will keep reflecting relationships that confirm your unsafety. If you want money, but your body associates wealth with pressure or loss, the field will mirror situations that keep you in survival. It's not punishment, it's precision. The field mirrors coherence, and coherence only happens when the signal is unified. This is why embodiment is the missing link. When your words, your emotions, and your body are aligned, suddenly the signal becomes irresistible. Imagine it like music. A scattered nervous system is like a static radio station, choppy, unclear, impossible to dance to. But a regulated, embodied state is like a full orchestra. Clear, magnetic, undeniable. The universe can't help but move in rhythm with it, and here's where surrender enters. Surrender doesn't mean giving up on your desire. It means releasing the tension around how and when it must arrive. When you surrender, you stop sending out the signal of control, which is really just fear in disguise. You relax back into trust, and that relaxation is what allows the field to deliver without resistance. The paradox is that by not needing it to happen, you open the space for it to happen. So the real question is not, how do I make this manifest? The real question is, what state am I broadcasting right now? Am I broadcasting urgency, lack, and control? Or am I broadcasting coherence, safety, and arrival? When you shift into the second, manifestation stops being a mystery and starts becoming natural law. There's a moment that happens when you stop fighting with reality. You've probably felt it before without realizing how powerful it was. Maybe it was after weeks of stressing over money, and then one evening you finally said, I can't do this anymore. I just have to trust. And the next day, something shifted. Or maybe you were chasing someone's attention, and the second you gave up the need for their reply, suddenly they reached out. That moment is not random luck. It is the exact mechanism of quantum manifestation, because in that instant, your nervous system switched from contraction to openness. You stopped broadcasting urgency, which is really just the vibration of not yet, not enough, and instead your body entered a state of release. Release is what allows coherence to happen. When your body isn't tangled up in stress, your frequency organizes, and the quantum field reflects that organization back into form. It's not magical thinking, it's the physics of resonance. Think about the heart for a moment. When your heart rhythm is chaotic, your brain waves follow. Your thoughts scatter, your emotions spin, and your frequency weakens. But when your heart rhythm becomes smooth, coherent, your brain organizes too. This is called heart-brain coherence, and science has measured it. In this state, your nervous system is balanced, your stress hormones drop, and your energy field expands. That expansion is what manifestation actually rides on. It's not your words, it's your frequency, amplified by coherence. And here's the kicker. You don't reach coherence by controlling everything. You reach it by letting go, by breathing deeply, by feeling safe now. Most people miss this because they think manifestation is about straining harder, holding tighter, pushing more. But reality bends not to force but to frequency. The harder you push, the more you announce to the field that you don't have it yet. The softer you become, the more you declare with your being, it's already here. This is why identity shift is the ultimate manifestation practice. If your identity is still wrapped around the one who is waiting, then the field has no choice but to keep you waiting. But when your identity shifts into the one who already is, reality has no choice but to mirror that truth. And the beautiful part is, this shift doesn't require the thing to show up first. It requires you to embody it first. You become before you receive. Let's make this real. Imagine you're manifesting financial freedom. If your body is locked in scarcity, every bill feels like a threat. That threat signal is your broadcast, and the field matches it with more struggle. But if you begin regulating your body, breathing through the fear, practicing the sensation of safety now, your broadcast changes. Suddenly, paying a bill no longer collapses you. It becomes neutral, and neutrality is powerful because it tells the field, I am safe with or without this outcome. That safety creates space for abundance to arrive. Or imagine love. If you're waiting for someone to choose you, your identity is still the unchosen. The field reflects that over and over. But when you embody love now, when your nervous system feels the warmth of being safe to love and be loved already, your identity shifts. You're no longer waiting to be chosen. You are love itself. And the field can't help but mirror that, often in ways that surprise you. So here's the paradox that unlocks everything. The less you chase, the faster it comes. Not because you're tricking the universe, but because your body finally stopped broadcasting separation. You are no longer in the vibration of waiting. You're in the vibration of having. And that signal is irresistible to the quantum field. When you begin to live like this, manifestation stops feeling like a game of begging for signs. It starts to feel like gravity, inevitable, precise, consistent. And the only thing that was ever in the way was the static of your own survival patterns. Remove the static, and the signal becomes clear. I want you to picture this. You're sitting in a cafe, watching someone across the room. They're not flashy, not even trying, but something about them pulls your attention. They look relaxed. Their body is open, grounded, almost glowing in a way that has nothing to do with their clothes or their words. That pull you feel. That's frequency. That's what it looks like when someone is broadcasting coherence, and that's exactly how manifestation works. See, you've been taught to chase your desires with effort, hustle harder, think more positively, push against the resistance until it finally cracks. But here's the thing, resistance is not cracked open by force. Resistance dissolves in safety, and safety is not something you wait for after your desires come. Safety is something you cultivate now in the nervous system, in the body, in the present moment. This is where most people fail. They try to manifest from a dysregulated state. Imagine trying to tune into a radio station while driving through a storm. The static drowns out the song. That's what happens when your body is caught in stress and fear. The field still hears you, but the signal is scattered. One moment you're broadcasting abundance, the next you're broadcasting panic, the next you're back to hope, then back to doubt. And the field mirrors the chaos. You get mixed results because you're sending mixed signals. But when your body feels safe, the storm quiets. Suddenly the channel clears and your frequency becomes unmistakable. And the universe, precise as it is, tunes in. Not out of kindness, but out of coherence. This is why people who aren't even trying sometimes manifest faster than those obsessing over it. Because without knowing it, they're already coherent. They're already living in the state the rest of us are desperately trying to force. Let's flip the script. Instead of asking, how do I make this happen, begin asking, how can I make my body feel safe right now? Because when your body feels safe, your timeline collapses. That's when the waiting ends, not because the universe suddenly speeds up, but because you stopped stretching the distance with your desperation. You collapsed the future into the now by embodying it. Think about it this way. Time is elastic in the quantum field. When you're in urgency, Every second feels stretched. The thing you want feels far away. But when you're in safety, in trust, time collapses. What you thought required months or years suddenly arrives through synchronicity, through chance meetings, through doors that open without effort. That's not luck, it's coherence bending time. Here's a simple example. Imagine you've been stressing over a job. You send out applications with tension in your chest, refreshing the inbox every hour. The signal you're sending is clear. I am not chosen yet. I am waiting. And the field mirrors waiting. But then, one day, you exhale. You decide to enjoy your afternoon, to feel safe in the now. In that moment, your frequency changes, and suddenly, out of nowhere, a call comes. The same applications you sent before, but now the timing aligns. Why? Because you finally collapse the waiting signal into the arrival signal. This is the essence of surrender. Surrender is not giving up, it's collapsing time. It's letting your body feel the frequency of already here, which tells the field to mirror that truth. And the beauty of it is that you don't have to force this into perfection. You don't need to be coherent 100% of the time. Even small moments of true coherence, moments of breath, openness, presence, begin bending your reality. So the next time you catch yourself obsessing over when it will come, remember, your job is not to chase the outcome. Your job is to regulate the signal. Your body is the antenna, your frequency is the broadcast. And the quantum field is always listening, always reflecting. There's something almost mischievous about how reality works. It loves to give you what you are, not what you're begging for. And this can feel frustrating until you understand the elegance of it. Because the universe isn't ignoring you, it's calibrating to your signal with precision. It's like standing in front of a mirror. You can smile at the mirror, but if inside you're frowning, eventually that inner state leaks through. The reflection never lies. This is why people who try everything sometimes see no change. They're treating manifestation like a performance, rehearsing affirmations, staging vision boards, smiling through gritted teeth. But deep down, their nervous system is screaming, "I'm not safe, I don't believe, I'm still waiting." And the field mirrors that. Not to punish them, but to remain true to the signal. So what's the way through? It's simpler than you think. The way through is embodiment. Not pretending, not forcing, but choosing moment by moment to feel in your body the reality you want to live. Let me give you an image. Imagine you're waiting for a paycheck. Your mind is in panic, your body tight, your thoughts racing. That signal broadcasts lack. But if you pause, breathe, regulate your nervous system, and let your body taste safety right now, even if the money isn't in your account yet, you change the broadcast. You collapse the timeline of waiting into the vibration of having, and the field adjusts. This is not wishful thinking, it's physics. The observer effect tells us that particles behave differently when observed. Your observation, your state of being, literally determines the shape reality takes. But observation isn't just looking, it's feeling, it's embodying. If your observation of life is, "I am safe, I am whole, I am already in alignment," then particles collapse into experiences that match. And the reverse is also true. That's why your body is the true manifesting tool, not your mind. Now let's go deeper. Many people sabotage their manifestations because they're unconsciously addicted to survival. Their nervous system is wired to expect struggle. So even when opportunity knocks, they can't relax into it. They either push it away, overcomplicate it, or sabotage it to match the old familiar signal of stress. The field is just echoing their inner chaos. But when you begin to rewire your nervous system for safety, your set point changes. You no longer crave survival patterns. You begin to feel at home in ease. And ease is the frequency of abundance. Think about love. If you're manifesting a relationship, but your body still associates intimacy with danger, the field will keep reflecting situations that prove your fear right. Maybe partners who ghost, who can't commit, who leave you feeling unchosen. Not because the universe is cruel, but because your signal is love isn't safe. The moment you regulate that pattern, when your body begins to feel safe in closeness, the field shifts. Suddenly different people appear, or the same people show up differently because your coherence has changed. And this is why manifestation is never about controlling others. You don't need to convince someone to love you, or beg a boss to choose you, or force a door open. The quantum field doesn't work through pressure. It works through resonance. When you embody the state, reality rearranges. People, opportunities, and events move in ways you couldn't have strategized. That's the timeline collapse. It feels like magic, but it's just coherence at play. So the practice is not, how can I make reality change? The practice is, how can I regulate into coherence right now? That shift, repeated again and again, rewires your entire field. And once it's embodied, manifestation becomes less about trying and more about allowing. And here's the paradox I love most. The more you trust that you don't need the thing to feel whole, the faster it arrives. Because you've stopped broadcasting lack. You've started broadcasting fullness. And fullness is magnetic. It pulls the reflection in without you lifting a finger. You know that subtle tension that lives in the background of your life? The one that whispers, when this finally happens, then I'll feel at peace. Maybe it's the relationship you're waiting for, the money you think will set you free, or the recognition you've been chasing for years. That quiet bargain is what keeps most people stuck. Because every time you place peace on the other side of the manifestation, you tell the field, I am not there yet. And the field, obedient as ever, keeps you not there yet. But here's the radical truth. Peace is not a prize you earn at the end. Peace is the frequency that brings the end to you. When your body learns how to rest in peace now, before the external thing arrives, you collapse the waiting game. Your nervous system no longer says, I'll relax when... It says, I'm safe now. And that safety signal is the strongest magnet in the universe. This is why trying to stay positive often backfires. Forced positivity still carries tension. You can be smiling while your chest is tight, while your jaw is clenched, while your stomach is in knots. The field doesn't hear the smile. It hears the knots. It hears the contraction underneath the surface performance. That's why some people affirm for years without results. They're layering words over a body that's still broadcasting fear. But the moment you truly allow your body to soften, to breathe, to rest in the feeling of safety now, the broadcast changes. It's like clearing static from a radio station. You go from fuzzy noise to a crystal clear song. And the field doesn't have to guess anymore. It simply mirrors the song back to you. Let's make this real with a scenario. Imagine you're manifesting love. You meditate every morning, picturing the perfect partner, but deep down, your body remembers heartbreak. It braces against rejection. So even while visualizing, your nervous system is still in, I'm not safe in love. That's the real frequency. And the field matches it by bringing people who prove it true. Now imagine instead that you take time to regulate. You breathe into your chest. You allow yourself to feel safe being seen, safe being held, safe even if it doesn't happen today. That shift alone changes your signal. Suddenly your broadcast is, I am safe in love now. And the field mirrors safety by sending experiences that align with it. The same is true with money. If you're visualizing wealth while panicking about bills, the panic is louder than the picture. But if you regulate your body until paying a bill no longer feels like a threat, your frequency of safety with money begins to broadcast, and the field reflects opportunities that match that safety. Not because you worked harder, but because you became coherent. This is the paradox most people miss. You don't manifest when you finally get what you want. You manifest when you no longer need it to feel whole. And that doesn't mean you stop desiring. Desire is beautiful. Desire is the spark. But you stop tying your safety to the outcome. You choose to feel safe now, and that collapses the distance. So when people ask, why does manifestation only work sometimes? The answer is simple. It works when you're coherent. It fails when you're not. The universe isn't inconsistent. You are. Your signal fluctuates between fear and trust, between lack and fullness, and the field keeps faithfully reflecting whichever is stronger. But here's the liberating part. You don't need perfection. You don't need to be coherent every second of every day. You just need to tip the scale. Small moments of coherence, practiced again and again, begin to outweigh the old patterns, and eventually the signal of safety becomes your baseline. That's when manifestation stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like breathing. There comes a point in this journey where you realize the universe was never withholding from you. It was only ever matching you. That's both confronting and liberating. Confronting because it means you can no longer blame life for being unfair. Liberating because it means you hold the key to changing everything. And the key isn't outside. It's inside your body, your frequency, your state of being right now. I want you to really feel this. The quantum field is neutral. It doesn't play favorites. It doesn't reward or punish. It simply mirrors. And that's why the identity you live in is more powerful than any technique you practice. If your identity is the struggler, reality mirrors struggle. If your identity is the unchosen, reality mirrors rejection. But when your identity shifts to the safe one, the abundant one, the loved one, reality must mirror that too. It has no choice because coherence is irresistible. And here's the paradox. Identity isn't changed by chanting, "I am abundant," in the mirror until you're exhausted. Identity is changed when your body feels safe embodying that truth. You can't think your way into a new identity. You can only regulate your way into it. That's why nervous system work is not just self-care. It's quantum alignment. Every time you breathe deeper, every time you soften your muscles, every time you allow your heart to open a little more, you're telling the field, "This is who I am now." And the field rearranges accordingly. Think about timeline collapse for a moment. From the outside, it looks like a miracle. Something you thought would take years suddenly happens in weeks. A door you thought was locked suddenly swings wide open. But what's really happening is this. You stopped vibrating in the not yet timeline and embodied the already here timeline. And the field, precise as ever, matched your state by collapsing the distance. That's why people say manifestation is instant once you align. The waiting wasn't time, it was incoherence. Let's bring it down to something simple. Imagine you're waiting for someone to text you back. Hours go by, your stomach knots, your mind spirals. That vibration of waiting is loud, and the field mirrors waiting. But then you let it go. You breathe. You remember your wholeness. You even smile, feeling good without the message. That shift collapses the timeline, and suddenly the text comes through. It feels magical, but it's just coherence changing probability. The same applies to bigger dreams, career, health, love, wealth. Every time you stop attaching your safety to the future, you collapse the space between you and what you desire. Every time you embody the frequency now, the future folds into the present. This is how reality bends. Not because you forced it, but because you resonated with it. And this is the real reason most people fail at manifestation. They refuse to release control. They cling so tightly to how and when it must arrive that they broadcast nothing but tension. And the field mirrors tension. The moment they release, reality flows. It's not unfair. It's precise. Control broadcasts fear. Surrender broadcasts trust. And trust is magnetic. So if you've been stuck in the loop of trying, waiting, hoping, doubting, I want you to remember this. Nothing is missing. The field is not holding out on you. It's simply reflecting the signal you've been sending. Change the signal, and the reflection changes. Not in 10 years, now. Because reality doesn't wait. It responds instantly to coherence. There's a moment, right before everything shifts, where nothing looks different on the outside. The bank account still shows the same number. The phone is still silent. The vision board is still just paper on the wall. But inside, something clicks. Your body feels different. Your breath is steady. Your chest feels open. You're no longer reaching into the future. You're resting in the now. And that inner click is the true manifestation. Because once the signal changes, the outer reality has no choice but to follow. This is the part most people miss. Manifestation is not about creating from lack. It's about revealing what's already true in the quantum field. Every version of you already exists. The abundant you, the loved you, the free you. You don't need to build them from scratch. You only need to tune your frequency to their station. And the way you tune isn't through endless effort. It's through coherence, through embodiment, through safety in the now. When you really grasp this, the pressure dissolves. You stop asking, why isn't it here yet? Because you realize the only real question is, Am I broadcasting the frequency of having or the frequency of waiting? The moment you broadcast having, reality adjusts, sometimes subtly, sometimes in explosive synchronicities. But it always adjusts, because coherence is law. And here's what makes it beautiful. You don't need to do this perfectly. You don't need to hold the vibration every second of the day. Even small moments of true alignment create ripples. One genuine breath of safety, 1 minute of embodied peace, one act of choosing trust over control. These moments collapse timelines. They send signals so clear that the field cannot resist. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, coherence isn't something you try to maintain. It becomes who you are. Think of the freedom in that. No more chasing signs, no more exhausting yourself with endless techniques, no more waiting for the universe to finally notice you. Because now you know the secret. The universe was never deciding for you. It was always reflecting you. You are the observer collapsing reality. You are the frequency that sets the tone. You are the one bending timelines through coherence. So as you listen to this, let your body soften. Let your shoulders drop. Breathe as if everything you desire is already here, because in the field, it is. Feel the truth that safety is available now, love is available now, abundance is available now. The more you embody that now, the faster the mirror rearranges. And maybe the greatest shift of all is this. Manifestation is not about getting what you want. It's about remembering what you are. When you embody that truth, you stop chasing reality and start dancing with it. And life, precise and generous, begins to dance back. You don't have to wait anymore. You don't have to try so hard. All you have to do is align. And when you do, you'll see with your own eyes what was always waiting in the field for you to remember. Not by chasing, but by becoming.